So, all right, you just completed that home inspection on the property that you're buying or you're selling. And now what do? We got this list. Let's talk about that this week on DESTRY TV. So look, whether you're buying or selling a home, that pesky little home inspection that pops in there is always a source of tension and apprehension for everybody, be it the buyer or seller. It doesn't make a difference which side of the transaction you're on. Because realistically, no one really knows what the other side is supposed to do. As a seller, your typical home inspection is going to reveal some things that you might not have known, that maybe have been there for a while, or things that you maybe did know and just kind of were forgetting and ignoring. As a buyer, you will have signed a contract that says, hey, I want to purchase your property. There's going to be a couple of boxes in there your agent will have checked that said, hey, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, water heater, those things have to be up to code. But realistically, as a seller, the seller's not really responsible to fix anything on the property. And understand, not all home inspectors are the same. I know there's multiple types of licensing and, designations that inspectors have. But I personally believe no home inspector is perfect. They're not going to catch every single thing that's wrong with the house. They're certainly not going to see through the walls on the property. I've seen home inspectors that have gone through a house and missed things that were blatantly obvious. I've seen some that will walk through a house that is perfect and shred it, call every single thing down to a hole in the screen as a major defect. So they're all over the board too. And with that in mind, you have to understand that a repair request is simply just a negotiation between buyer and seller. It's a matter of determining what the buyer wants, what the seller will accept, and what you guys can come together as far as how we're going to compensate each other for it. Is the seller going to actually do the repairs? Is the seller going to offer a closing cost credit, a repair credit? Who knows? Maybe we're going to adjust the price. I've found over the years, though, I think, as a seller, I think most sellers have pride in their property and they want to deliver their property to the buyer with everything pretty much in good working order. But, we've all seen homes that, frankly, people have lived in a little hard and not everything's working great. But we've also seen homes that are so perfect that it looks like nobody actually lives there. That said, I have advice to both parties, okay? Mr. Seller, when you deliver your home to a buyer, I think you should consider delivering it in the condition that you'd want to buy it. If you're selling a home and the dishwasher doesn't work or there's a leak under the sink, do you really want to buy it that same way? And if so, do you want compensation for it as a buyer? Would you say, hey, look, this thing's leaking. Either you need to fix it or I need a compensation for it in that way. However, Mr. Buyer, understand that you have to keep in mind the age of the property that you're buying and the price you're paying for it. If you want to buy brand new where nothing's wrong, you're going to pay more for it. Everyone knows that. So when you're looking at a home that's 30 years old and you get this home inspection and there's this big list of stuff, understand that's not a shopping list to make it a brand new home. Okay? It is simply a list of the defects that have been noted. Now it comes down to your agent stepping in and helping you to negotiate with the seller to determine how we're going to get those things handled. Are we going to fix them all, or are we going to compensate you with we're going to give you a closing cost credit or repair credit, however you're going to do that. But that's what your agent's job is. Speaking of agents and inspectors and how inspectors are not all the same, not all agents are the same either. And that's what we're going to talk about next week on DESTRY TV.